We're going on live today. Let's see. What's it saying for me to do? Notify viewers you're live. Hi, I think I'm on live on TikTok and keep going. Let us know when more viewers are live. No. Okay, I think we're on. Yes. Okay. We're notifying viewers. Okay, we're good. All right, let's get started. Hi guys out there in both lands. All right, so we're making a cottage cheese protein wrap. By the looks at it, they kind of look like a naan bread instead of a tortilla wrap. I do have another recipe for tortilla wrap, but to me it looked like a crepe and not a tortilla. So I'm gonna keep researching that because you guys know I love my cottage cheese and I love my self-rising flour. So let's get started here. We're gonna need 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. I made this myself. If you don't have self-rising flour, you can do 1 cup of all-purpose flour to 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I just sifted it in my sifter and made my own self-rising flour. So we need, for this recipe, we need 1 1/4 cups. And I'm going to take my rings off before we do this because I'm going to get messy. I should have done that before I went on live, but I have a bad habit of not taking off my jewelry. Okay, so we need 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose, or not all-purpose, self-rising flour. So there's 1 cup. And then we need 1/4. So as you can see, I kind of pushed it down. And then took it off with my finger across the top. Pack that flour in there. Okay. So we need that. That's our flour. And then we're going to need 3/4 cups of blended cottage cheese. Now before I put that in there, I'm going to step over here. I'm going to turn the eye on. And I'm going to put it on a 5.5 and get it started. And then once I get this mixed up, I'll put a pat of butter in there because it says you need a pat of butter to get it started. So as you guys know, I always keep blended cottage cheese. And I did that this morning. So we need 3/4 cup of blended cottage cheese. So this is 1/2. So as you can see, look how creamy. It's very, very creamy. So we need 3/4 cup. Now, Big Terry's still not feeling well, so he's been hanging out in the bedroom. And okay, so in goes 1/2 cup. And then we need 1/4 cup. I haven't joined anybody, I haven't clicked on anybody to join yet because I'm just practicing on TikTok, so I'm not really sure how it works yet, but once I get my sea legs underneath me, I will do it. Okay, and then that's 1/4 cup. Make sure you clean as much as you can out because you definitely need that. Okay, let's put the lid on this so we don't spill this or anything. And up it goes. And then it says to use a fork and incorporate it. So that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to get my hands in there. before I put my hands in there, I'm going to add some seasoning. They said you can add whatever you want to season them. So I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in there, and then some salt. And I think I'm going to get my Pit Boss smoky salt pepper and put it in there. I think that will taste good. Okay, so I'm going to clean this off. Really get it. Now it also said if your dough's too dry to add a teaspoon of warm water. So I have that sitting over here, right there. I'm going to get my Pit Boss. I won't use the salt because it's got salt in this. So I'm just going to do this. A little bit of this. So this is Smoky Salt Cracked Pepper by Pit Boss. I really like it. Set that up. And I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in here. Just a little. And that's it. That was probably maybe a fourth of a teaspoon. Not much. Okay, now I'm going to get my hands in here. So if it's too dry, the directions say a teaspoon of warm water. If it's too tacky, you add more flour, which would be a teaspoon. So there are some nasty colds going around out there. Take your vitamins. Drink orange juice. Every little bit will help. I'm going to keep incorporating this with my hand. I think it's perfect. As soon as I get it incorporated, I'm going to lay it on my counter here so you can see it. So this stuff should just scrape right off your hands. It shouldn't leave your hands like tacky or yucky. Should take it right off. Okay. I think we got it. Looks good. Okay, so there's your dough. Clean the bowl out pretty good. I'm going to step over here and put this bowl. Okay. So it says you want to cut it into fours. It's not sticking on the counter, so I think this dough is perfect. Now, I have not made this dough yet, so to me it feels perfect. I don't know. And then plus I'm going to see a lot of people when they're doing stuff like this, sometimes they're, I made scones the other day, and I went exactly by her recipe. I thought they were too big, so I'm going to roll this out and see if it's too big. If it's too big, then I'm going to re-roll it. So let's put those, I'm going to do exactly what they said. Exactly what they said. I'm not going to waver from it. Okay, let me get a pat of butter in here. So it said to put a pat of butter. So that's about a teaspoon. Can everybody see that? So I'm going to put about a teaspoon in here. Now it also said that you might have to put butter in between each, I'm going to wipe my hands off here. You might have to put a pat of butter in between each cook, so that's fine. If we do, we will. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my surface so I can roll this out. And yes, I know, I should have an apron on, but I don't. Another one of my bad habits. Get those aprons going. All right, so I'm going to roll this into a circle better. And then we're going to see. Okay. Now, the directions say it has to be super thin. You want it super thin, is what they said. So, that's what we're going to do. I can't tell if anybody's on Facebook. No comment yet, okay. All right. Make sure you get the outer edge and just keep bringing it around. It looks pretty good to me. So looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. All right, we're just gonna wait for this to here we go. Okay, so it's pretty thin. It says 2 minutes on each side. So Alexa, give me a timer for 2 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Okay. We're going to keep an eye on it. And while that's doing, I'm going to roll out another one. So I might have to have a little bit more flour. I don't want too much flour. The dough feels perfect, so we'll see. Gonna wait until later. My sister might call tonight, and if she does, I think we might do bagels together. I've been trying to get her to make the bagels. She's got the English muffins down pat. She hasn't made the bagels yet. Hello. Hello, Sylvia. Hello, Jerry. We are making protein cottage cheese wraps is what we're making, guys. So I'll have to keep saying that. And the recipe is 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour and 3/4 cups of cottage cheese. And you can add in any kind of seasoning that you want. So I put in Italian seasoning, and I put in the Pit Boss smoky salt and pepper because I really like that. So, and then you incorporate it all together and start with a fork, and then you get your hands in there, and then you roll them out into a thin circle, and then you're going to put them on your skillet. Alexa, stop. So that was our first 2 minutes. Oh my goodness, look guys. Okay, Alexa, set the timer for 2 minutes. It looks wonderful. So to me, they're not really, I searched a tortilla wrap because I wanted to do tortillas. To me, they're more like a naan bread, which is fine. I mean, they can be both. Now, I'm going to, it said a pat of butter in there. I'm going to put a little scant of butter in here. Because I want to make sure that it's doing its job. So, that's what we're making, guys. Hi, Allie. Hi, Susan. Hi, Rose Miller. I don't see anybody on Facebook yet. Usually I have lots of people on Facebook, but maybe not today. They might be busy. Yeah. So while we wait for this to go off, and I'm going to put them right here on this plate, and then we'll do our next ones. So each side is 2 minutes on each side. If you're just getting on here, we're making cottage cheese protein wraps, tortillas, naan bread, whatever you want to call them. And it's 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour, 3/4 cups of cottage cheese blended, and whatever seasonings you want to put into the dough. I put Italian seasoning and Pit Boss smoky salt cracked pepper. That's what's in mine. And our timer is getting ready to go off. And like it said, if it was too tacky, you add more flour. If it's too dry, you add a teaspoon of water. Alexa, stop. And there you guys go. They look wonderful. I mean, they look absolutely wonderful. So let's do another pat of butter before I stick another one in. That was in the directions that you might need a pat of butter to do each one. Let the butter completely melt, and then oh my goodness. There. Okay, and get your butter. You want to make sure your butter is all over the bottom of your pan. I'm going to turn this eye down to 5 instead of 5.5. And here's our other thin one already done. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, 7 minutes.
All right, so we're going to put a little bit more flour here. Just a little, you don't want a lot. Here's your other one. You're going to roll it up. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Lily. Hello, Lila. Hi, Bobby. I'm trying to get used to TikTok. This is my first TikTok. I've been posting from my Facebook to TikTok. So, but it doesn't seem like my Facebook one is working. I'll have to have my son check it for me. Hey, bud. Bud. Guess he can't hear me. I guess I maybe need to practice before I go on lives. Let's see if I got my devices all hooked up. Okay, so you just keep rolling this out and turn it. Give a little scotch more flour. I don't want a lot. And this is my homemade self-rising flour. It's a cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon and a half of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Because I didn't have any self-rising flour, so I just made it. Okay, so this one is not as round as I would like it, but it's okay. Alexa, stop. Oops, sorry guys. Here we go, we're gonna flip, and I'm gonna put just a little scotch in there. And it goes. Hey, bud. Guess he can't hear me. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Osmond. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Ninia. Okay, so we have this one ready to go whenever this one's done. So if you're just getting on, we're making cottage cheese protein wraps. When I searched tortillas, this is what came up. To me, they're almost like a naan bread. Either one is fine. It's 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour, 3/4 cups of cottage cheese, and whatever seasonings you guys want. I put in Italian seasoning and Pit Boss smoky salt cracked pepper. That's what I put in there. And so we're trying it out. We're going to see if we like them. And we're going to use these for dinner tonight. I think we're going to make, my son found a recipe for like a McRib type thing, but we're using this instead of a bun. So these actually are puffing up like a naan bread. So they're not real thick though. And it makes a good size. I mean, you know, by the time you, that's a hefty size. You could actually, like I said, you could probably cut these down and not have as big. Her recipe called to make 4. You could actually cut this down and probably get 8, and they would be smaller. So that's what I would do. Hey, bud, can you check and see if my Facebook Live's working on Facebook? Alexa, start. Please. Okay, so we're putting another pat of butter in. And get it in there and get the whole bottom of your skillet. And in goes the third one. As soon as this is all melted. And in it goes. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. This is our last one.
Starting now.
So we're gonna do the surface. A little bit of flour, a little dabble do ya. Hello everybody, hello Carol Owens, hi Cognac. Okay, so we're gonna roll this one out. Flip it over, get this side going. Don't pinch your dough there, Jen. My sister-in-law actually helped me to get on TikTok. Bless her heart, I've been trying and I just could not get on. No matter what I did, I couldn't figure it out. But she talked me through it. Her and her friends, and thank you for that. I had Facebook down pat, but I could not get to TikTok down pat. Okay, so that's our last one. Hello, Brown. Hello, Pageo. If I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sorry. Hi, Tina Johnson. Okay, so again, we are making cottage cheese protein wraps. They are 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour, 3/4 cups of cottage cheese, and any seasoning that you want to put into them. You mix it up with a fork and divide it into 4s, is what the direction says. Alexa, stop. Okay, and Alexa, set the timer for 2 minutes. You divide it into 4. She said you should get 4, and then you
2
cook
minutes,
it.
starting now.
You cook it on each side for 2 minutes. In between each one, you need a pat of butter, about a teaspoon of butter, to make them cook. And so later on, I'm going to make this McRib type thing, and we're going to use this as our bun. So that's what we're going to do. I was thinking about doing like tacos or something, but to me, I have another recipe and I am going to try it. It's just with cottage cheese and egg. To me, it looked more like a crepe and not a tortilla shell, but I'm going to try it, and I mean, that's how you figure it out. You just keep trying. So that's what we're going to do. Hey, Shelly, I'm late. Oh, hey, honey, I'm making cottage cheese protein wraps. So it's 1 to 4 cups of self-rising flour and 3/4 cups of cottage cheese, and whatever seasonings you want to put into it, you get 4. You roll them out into a circle and you fry them. It's more like a naan bread. So right here's the second one. It's still warm. It's turned out really good. So, yeah. All right, so the next one is coming. I actually think that you should put them on a drying rack and not my only saying is I think they need to be dry all the way through before you put them on a plate. So that's what we're going to do. And then our last one will be going in. And there it is. It's very hot. So we're going to scoop that there and just let it sit there. Alexa, stop. In goes our teaspoon of butter into your pan. You want it to melt. As soon as it melts, we're going to put that last one in. So these are very thin when you roll them out. Okay, and it goes. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. So that's the last one. So it makes you 4. Hi, Tammy Lee. It makes 4. When I do them again, I'm going to make them smaller, only because I think this is really large. That's really large to me. So, like I said, the other day I made scones, and I thought the scones are really big. Yes, Shelly, they're like a tortilla, but I think more like a naan bread. They're not as thick as a naan, though. Like I was saying, the other day I made scones. I went by her recipe because that's what I'll do. I might put a different seasoning in, or different vanilla, or something that I choose. I might back off on this or back off on that, and I will tell you. But I do try to make it the way they say the first time, and when I make these again, I will make them smaller. So we'll go over the recipe one more time. I got a mess. I'm a mess. Everything's a mess. Okay, so it's 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour. If you do not have self-rising flour and you have all-purpose flour, you can make self-rising flour, which I did this morning because I was out. So if you need to make self-rising flour, it's 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That will get you self-rising flour. Now, I mixed it all up and then I sifted it. and then I put it in my bag. So this is just about done. I'm gonna flip it. Alexa, set the timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And we're just about done. Alexa, stop. Okay, we got her. We got her. So anyhow, it's 1 1/4 cups of self-rising flour, 3/4 cups of cottage cheese blended. Make sure it's blended. I usually try to blend my cottage cheese a day before I use it, but I have used it immediately, so it doesn't matter. Any kind of seasonings that you want, you roll it up and mix it, get it into one big ball, then you cut it into 4. Next time I make it, I'm going to cut it into 8. Hi, Cindy. The family loves watching you cook. I love you too, honey. And you let each side cook on 2 minutes with a pat of butter, about a teaspoon. And then you have your tortilla shells, your naan bread, whatever you want to call them. And I am going to taste one. So we'll cut off a piece. We'll cut off a little scotch here and see what it's like. I'm going to cut the edge off here. Okay, here we go. Oh. It's not as thick as naan, but it's not as thin as a tortilla shell. But if you want to do garlic, anything you want to put in here would be good. Anything. I shared on TikTok. Thanks, Shelly. That's my cousin. She's on TikTok. You can put any kind of flavor in here. Actually, I have a barbecue flavor. I bet that would be banging. Alexa, stop. So this is our last one coming out. And we are all done. So I made 4 of these beauties. Like I said, the next time I make it, I don't know if I'll cut it into 6 or into 8, but I will be making them again. And the two seasonings that I chose was Italian seasoning, and then the Pit Boss salt, cracked pepper. I love this stuff. I have some other seasonings that I'll try next time I make it. But maybe next time instead of 4, I'll do 6. I'll do a cut of 6 and see. Hello, everybody, and see how they are. They're not as thick as naan, but they're not as thin as a tortilla. They have a really good taste. That's another thing about me. If I like it, I'm going to tell you. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you. These I will make again, over and over and over again. It's all about choices. I am a diabetic. I do eat sweets. I made cannolis the other day, and I had a cannoli. It's all about choices, people. All about choices. So you don't have to do every meal, you know. You can just do whatever you want to do. That's what I do. I do whatever I want to do. So I'm so glad I got on TikTok today. I am ecstatic. I finally figured it out. And next time I will hit the buttons and try to have people join me. I got to get my sea legs. I got to get my sea legs on TikTok. And as to my people on Facebook, I love you guys. I started with you guys first. I'm not going anywhere off of Facebook. I'm always going to be on Facebook. Anytime I go live, I will do a double live. I will look at this screen and I will look at this screen because my Facebook people was there with me first, and I'm not leaving Facebook. But I am joining TikTok. I have been putting my videos from Facebook onto TikTok, but now I don't have to do that, and I'm excited. Thank you, Tanya, my sister. She got me started on it. If it wasn't for her, I think I would have just folded on it because I just could not figure it out. But thank you to her. I love you guys. You've been making this fun for me, and I will keep continuing. So I'm going to sign off now and clean up my filthy kitchen. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, how do again? Bye, my people on Facebook. I love you guys.